The tranquil Midwestern town of Augusta rarely saw a homicide or anything remotely horrifying. This family-oriented community, where goodwill folks bow to the trinity of God, country, and football, never expected to be cursed by something they still cannot comprehend. On a Wednesday morning, the body of 4-year-old Kevin Burgess was found buried in a mound of mashed foods and liquid that were taken out of the refrigerator and used to kill the minor. When Kevin's father woke up the next morning, he tried to resuscitate his son after dragging him out of the revolting heap of edibles, but the youngling was already dead. Word spread quickly about what happened in the Burgess' home. Police found no evidence of forced entry. Neighbors didn't see any suspicious individuals roaming around the village that night. More so, no outlandish noises disturbed Kevin's parents while they slept upstairs. With so many unanswered questions, the whole town pointed the finger at the boy's mother and father as the unquestionable perpetrators. But the county's homicide division had problems incriminating Jenna and Hunter Burgess. Both didn't have a history of domestic dispute and were universally perceived by their acquaintances as exceptional parents. Also, Kevin's school never detected signs of physical or emotional abuse that could have stemmed from his home life. Without a motive or physical evidence, prosecutors couldn't press charges. All they could do was wait for the analysis of the corpse. When the coroner examined Kevin, he discovered that the child was violently force-fed with the foods he was buried in. Most of his teeth were shattered. The walls of his esophagus had split like a peeling banana, causing him to bleed internally. But the most peculiar finding was uncovered in his digestive tract. Threads of synthetic brown hair were extracted from deep within Kevin's stomach. It is the type of hair used to make wigs or dress up stuffed animals. Unless the boy accidentally ingested anything furry while he was being force-fed, the coroner believed it was necessary to retrieve items from the crime scene that could match that synthetic hair. Sheriff William Massey dispatched forensic agents, and the team took into evidence a number of cuddly animals Kevin had in his bedroom, as well as some woolly clothes Jenna Burgess owned. 24 hours later, the analysis found no match with any of the materials taken from the house. The sheriff's department and the prosecutors had come to a dead end, with no suspects and no clear idea of how Kevin's death unfolded. But only 6 days after his bizarre murder, another child was found in the exact same conditions in a family home on the other side of Augusta. It was 3-year-old Penelope Carradine, and just like Kevin Burgess, her body was immersed in a pile of disgusting comestibles. The parallels were remarkably similar, including the vicious force-feeding method, the threads of synthetic hair in the stomach, the fact nobody saw or heard anything during the evening, and that the child's parents were not known to mistreat the minor. It was clear that every kid in Augusta was in danger of something inexplicable. Sheriff Massey and County Mayor Sabrina Owens urged every parent to keep an eye on their offspring and suggested that they should sleep in the same room until this matter is resolved. The purchase of guns and surveillance cameras soared. Everyone resorted to prayer as a way of bringing God to defeat the evil that had befallen upon them. Having children sleep in their parents' bedroom seemed to have paid off, because for a month no child perished during the night. However, both the sheriff and the mayor had a feeling that the assassin still lurked. Certain this was the work of a highly trained killer, they didn't expect to receive a visit from an expert on the occult sciences who offered an alternative solution to this problem. Lamar Chilton flew in from Miami, Florida. A self-described paranormal investigator, he used a variety of gadgets to analyze the spectral parameters of Augusta. He wasn't surprised to read that the town was overcome by significant negative energy, probably from wandering souls that once lived in that town. Lamar offered his own assessment on the situation in a private meeting with both the sheriff and the mayor. He said,
"You are dealing with something of a boogeyman, the kind you have heard in horror stories. It is the only reason why children have been the target so far.
Lamar demonstrated a variety of photos that illustrate how boogeymen typically look like.
However, the one you are dealing with is pretty unique. I'm not sure if the overfeeding is a way of tempting children with food before it kills them. Boogeymen aren't easy to get rid of. If anyone ever comes across it, remember this. Fire is the only thing that could destroy it.
Sheriff Massey and Mayor Owens thanked Lamar for his opinion and escorted him out of the building, having completely dismissed his evaluation and profession as devil worship. Three months after Kevin's and Penelope's death, several parents started to believe that their children were no longer in danger, and some younglings returned to sleep in their own bedrooms. This evidently led to the third victim, 4-year-old Jacob Pickford, to suffer the same unpleasant fate. Even if the terror had returned to Augusta, this time with almost every home having had installed security cameras, the Pickford family had surveillance footage to show the local authorities. With it, they were finally able to catch a glimpse of the fiend that had taken the lives of 3 innocent children. The mysterious entity had made its way through the air conditioning ducts of the house and peered through an AC vent in Jacob's bedroom. Instead of some ghoulish monster, as the images Lamar Chilton demonstrated, it was a generic-looking teddy bear. This animated bear climbed on Jacob's mattress and gently woke up the child to say,
"I would love to make you happy. Will you come with me?"
Okay.
Jacob took the bear's hand, which led him downstairs to the kitchen. The bear opened the refrigerator and said,
"You can have anything you want. Name it, and I will get it for you."
Jacob wanted some chocolate, a glass of milk, bread, and cookies. The bear removed exactly what was requested. And right then, it grabbed the child by the throat and vigorously shoved those items into his mouth, one after the other, including the remaining edibles kept in the refrigerator. The sheriff department, along with the mayor, felt it was necessary to tell the public about what had killed Jacob, no matter how preposterous the details may be. Although they didn't expect to be taken seriously during the disclosure of this information, the amount of fear and dread among the townspeople was so great they were willing to do anything to destroy this curse. Sheriff Massey wasted no time encouraging all citizens to use fire, just like Lamar Chilton had suggested. What happened next was beyond madness. Every stuffed animal, teddy bears in particular, were looted from retail stores and removed from every home, no matter if they were toys or items of nostalgia or decoratives. And later, half the town gathered in the biggest park in Augusta. Nobody dared to explain to the young ones why their most precious childhood articles were destroyed by their own parents. Afterwards, no child was killed again in the same manner Kevin, Penelope, and Jacob had suffered. But those who lived were left with no cuddly animals to play with.